Okay ครับ Good morning everyone Good morning students and all the มัธยม 4 learners today I am อาจารย์ Тэй okay so we once met last time right when we were learning about basic English in มัธยม 4 but this time we're gonna meet again but for the further information further knowledge today so the name of the course is ปรับพื้นฐานเพิ่มเติม so เพิ่มเติม it means that you're gonna learn something more than what you did in a basic thing that we learned so today I just gonna teach you some more English or language point that we can use and it is very important to when you want to compose a language or when you want to communicate these points that I'm gonna present today is very useful for your life and your study in the school. So again, my name is อาจารย์ สุทธิยา คงใหญ่ or you can call me อาจารย์ Тэй if you want to. And today, listen, we're gonna go about two things. Okay, so for the overview first, we're gonna look into only two different things. The first thing that we're gonna learn is about adjective and adjective clause. So I hope that everyone know about adjective before coming to this class, right? So if any one of you doesn't know what does it mean by the word adjective or what does it look like when do we use adjective, so I will have some preview like an overview of how do we use adjective in our conversation and then we're gonna move to something deeper because this class is not just a basic, right? We learn something more, so adjective clause is something new that we're gonna be dealing with today. And then after we finish the adjective and adjective clause, we're gonna move to adverb. So adverb basically it sounds like adjective, right? But actually it's really different from the thing that I mentioned before, which is adjective. So adverb, we're gonna learn about the basic thing about what do we use adverb, how do we use adverb, and what kind of adverbs that we can use in our in English or in the communicative language. And then as you remember, I'm gonna go to some deeper detail about adverb. We're gonna learn about adverbial clause, or some people can call it adverb clause. And only for this time we don't really have much time, right? We only have about 2 or 3 hours, so I'm gonna go just for adverb for time indicator, and then adverb for manners. And then I'm gonna have some like the exercise as what you did earlier last week, right? We're gonna do some exercise and then that's all for the class. And along the class, along the presentations that I'm gonna give you, it is very similar to what we did earlier. I'm gonna give you a lot of examples of how do we use adjective and adverb and adjective clause and adverbial clause. And if you have any questions, please let me know, or you can just write some comments under the video clip that I post. And then if or sometimes you cannot really understand what I am saying, you can just directly message to me so that I can I can tell you more or give you more information about the topic that we are going to be learning today. Okay, so if everyone are ready, I will go a little bit moderate. It means that I'm not going too fast or too slow. And for the slides, the slide that I am using it right now, you can also download it in the link that I provide you in the website and the Facebook. And for the exercise, I will give you the same QR code that we had last week, and the link that you can get the same access as well. Okay, so now let's get started. Are you ready for this lesson? It seems pretty very hard, right? Very difficult for the term that we're gonna learn. Like a big two term, adjective clause and adverbial clause. It sounds complex, complicated, right? But it doesn't sound like it is. So okay, so I'm gonna go first with adjective clause. What do you know? Okay, so before we go to the adjective clause, which is like the deeper knowledge after we learn adjective, so I'm gonna ask you first, what is adjective? Have you ever heard of adjective before, or have you ever done any adjective in your life before? Okay, so if you don't really know or have no ideas about what is the adjective, I will explain simply by these following examples. Okay, so what does it mean by the word adjective? Okay, so I want you to look at these pictures. Do you know who is this? So the pictures, the name of the person in the picture, he is John Lennon. รู้จัก John Lennon ไหม Who is he? He is a very popular songwriter and singer in 1960s. So he is one of the Beatle band. If you remember, like the very popular boy band in 1960, he is one of the band. Is one of the member in the band. So basically, this photos, the person, his name is John Lennon. And what about adjective that we are going to learn today? So adjective, if we talk about adjective, right? So adjective, I will give you some example from these following sentences. So for example, adjective might be handsome. Tall is another adjective word in the sentence, and the word great. So can you guess what does it mean by the word adjective? Or it might be like some difficult word like hypocritical. รู้จักคำว่า hypocritical ไหม Okay, so hypocritical is someone who does things that they don't like when people say something but they do it differently, so we can call those people hypocritical. So for example, I say that I like student who come to the class, right? I like student who come to the class on time, not late person. I hate like every student that come to my class late, but I personally come to the class late, so you can call me I am a hypocritical. It means that I do something differently from what I said or what I think. So here another word of adjective, hypocritical, or you can say like some easy word like famous. Famous. He is very famous. He was popular at the time. He was handsome. He was tall, right? So you look at the picture. He looks very tall, and the style, the look, the face, the shirts, the glasses, the hairs, and everything. He looks handsome. So this word handsome, tall, is adjective or adjective. Or we can describe about songs, right? Incredible is another adjective. So we use the word incredible to describe his songs. So what does it mean by the word adjective? Okay, so when do we use adjective? Do we use to what? We use adjective to describe something, right? To explain, to give a detail of something, of someone, or of some place. For example, if you want to describe me that I am handsome, so you can say you are handsome, right? So the word handsome, tall, and so on, we can call them adjective. The describing word we call a describing word adjective. Okay, So here are some more examples of adjective words. For example, tall or good or marvelous, excellent, those are adjective. So when do we use adjective? To conclude, we use adjective to describe what? For example, I describe this guy, right? So he is tall. So what is this guy? Is he a noun or verb? What does it mean noun? Now it means by the word now I mean that like the object, right? Or a person or people or a thing that I can grab or I can touch, right? So these are the nouns. So do we use adjective to describe? I have one only questions. Do we use adjective to describe noun or to describe verb? For example, his looks is very handsome. So we describe his look, right? His look is a noun. Or his face, his body, his hair. So those things are noun. So actually, when we use adjective, adjective here, we use to describe noun. Adjective describe noun, or a noun or nouns. It can be multiple nouns as well. So these words, we use this word to describe a noun or nouns. Okay, so this what we call adjective, right? But adjective is for beginners, right? It's for มัธยม 1 or 2 students, but now we are มัธยม 4, right? We have to learn something more. We don't need to learn just adjective words. We need to learn something more academic, more professional. So here is the topic that we are going to learn today. So the topic it's called adjective clause. So what does it mean by the word adjective? So we use adjective to describe what? To describe now, right? To describe our face, to describe our body, to describe the hair, to describe whatever we want to describe as a noun, right? So this is the same. We use adjective to describe noun, but we don't only have adjective, we have adjective clause, which is like another level of adjective. So for example, if we assume that adjective is level 1, right? So adjective clause is like another level or level 2 of the whole adjective, of the things that we use to describe now. Okay, so now we're gonna start from the first 2 sentences. Okay, so first we're gonna look at these 2 first, and then we're gonna move to the lower one. But for now, I want you to look at the pictures. How many kids are in the picture? 1, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6. I'm sorry. There are 6 kids or 6 students in the picture. So once I want you to read the first sentence. The child got straight A last semester. What does it mean straight A? Straight. What does it mean straight? When you go straight, you don't turn left or right. You just go like straight. Straight A. It means that you get every subject. Like every subject you learn math, you learn geography, you learn social science, you learn science, and all the 4 subjects that you learned last semester, you got all A, or in Thai we use 4 grade, right? You can get grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4. So A, it means you get all 4 straight A. So here is the questions. I asked you, the child got straight A last semester, and how many child are there in the picture? There are 6 child, right? So how do we know which child got a straight A last semester? we don't know, right? Because the sentence is unclear, is undetailed. We don't really know, like we know nothing about the child. We just know that the child คือเด็ก the child got straight A last semester, but not, rather than that, we know nothing. So here is the importance of adjective clause. Right? So we know nothing, but if we have adjective clause and we add adjective clause to the sentence, it can give us more details about the thing or about the child in this case, or about a person. For example, here the child who is standing in the back got straight A last semester. So which child stand in the back? Is she standing in the back? No, right? Is he? No. So this guy, this person who stands in the back got straight A last semester. So I'm gonna highlight the adjective clause in the sentence so that you can see the difference between the two, right? Okay, so the first one we have no adjective clause, right? But the second one we have an adjective clause, which is okay. So we got who is standing in the back, which is an adjective clause. And again, we move to another sentence to clarify a bit about how do we use adjective clause, when do we use adjective clause. So can you read it for me, this one? The girl secretly has a boyfriend without telling her parents. Okay, so you specifically know the person, right? That it is a girl, it is a she, not a he or a boy. So we can mark, like in the pictures, the same pictures that we just used. We can cut this guy out. We can cross this guy out. We can cut this guy out because we focus on a girl. I think this one is a guy. I don't know. Okay, I'll just assuming that he is a guy. So we have two girls, right? But without the adjective clause, we never know which girl in the two, like in the picture, the two girls here, which one has a boyfriend secretly without telling her parents, right? So now we have something that we can describe more about the girl, that has a boyfriend, right? So here the second sentence, can you read it for me real quick? The girl which wears a white striped shirt secretly has a boyfriend without telling her parents. Okay, so now we know, right? Which girl who wear what? Girl who wear a white striped shirts. So we have two girls. Which one has a white shirts? So this guy, right? Not this guy, this girl, this person has or wears a white striped shirts. So now we know that this girl on the left, or this girl who has a white shirt, has a boyfriend secretly without telling her parents. So here again, right? So do you see the highlight though? It's very, it's very not very noticeable. So I will draw a line below the sentence again so that you can see the sentence. So the words or the clause that I underline below, it means that the adjective clause. Okay, so here just the introduction of adjective clause, and now we're gonna go through some more examples of how do we use adjective clause, when do we use adjective clause, or which words that we can use with the adjective clause. Okay, So are you ready? So if you are ready, if you don't really understand or get the concept of what is the adjective clause, you can just get back a little bit and learn a little bit more about the information, and then you can just start to go forward after you understand a bit. Okay, so here are some more examples. The child got straight A last semester. The same example that we used previously, right? So the child got straight A last semester. We just know that the child, but we don't know anything about the child, right? The child. So again, we want to emphasize the child. We want to give more details about the child, or we want to create more information about the child. We can use this adjective clause to clarify about the child. So here, I'm sorry, who is smiling. So here we give some more information about the child, right? The child who is smiling. We specifically focus on this child who is smiling. Or the third sentence, the child got straight A, which is a super rare case. What does it mean by the word rare? Rare. What does it mean rare? For example, do you know Lamborghini, right? Lamborghini, รถ Lamborghini, or Porsche. Porsche is very it's a super rare car. Can we normally see those running around the town? No, right? We barely see those. We cannot really see those cars driving around the town. So this is rare. This is super rare. So it means that anyone who got straight A is super rare. Other friends might got a lot of B plus, a lot of B, or they might not even get an A. But this child got a straight A, which is a super rare case. So this is another adjective clause. And what about the fourth sentence? The child got straight A last semester when everyone started learning online. So this again, starting learning online is another adjective clause, but we do not specifically focus on the child. Instead, we focus on what? We focus on the last semester, right? So what about the third sentence, which is super rare case? We focus on got a straight A. Or what about the second sentence, who is smiling? We focus on the child. So as you can see here, the one that we focus, they are what? They are noun, right? Noun. These are noun. These are noun. So when do we use adjective? We use to modify the noun, right? We use to give more details about, when we want to give more detail about a noun, we use adjective. So this function the same, this works the same as what adjective does. But instead of using just only a word, adjective we use only word, right? Like tall, handsome, interesting, it is just only one word. But when we use adjective clause, when we say like clause, it doesn't mean that we only use one word, but we use almost a sentence or a sentence, so we call them clause. Okay, so now I'm gonna explain a little bit what does it mean by the word clause here. Clause. So clause is like when we got for example, this one, the word examples. Example is a word, right? A word. We have one word, examples. But in the example there are examples, 3 syllables. three syllables but one word. So when do we compose those words into sentence? How do we use that? How can we create a sentence? We combine words, right? When we want to create sentence. For example, I love ice cream. Boom, right? Boom. Now we have a sentence. And then what does it mean by the word clause? Then, so clause is very similar to sentence, but it is not a sentence. For example, I love ice cream, but my mom love fruits. Okay, so now we have how many sentences? So if we talk about this one, how many sentences do we have right now? We only have one sentence, not two, right? Even though we have one verb, two verb in a sentence, but we doesn't call this one two sentences. We call this one sentence. But we have how many clause? So this one we call one clause, and this one again we have two clause. We use what? Conjunction to connect two clause together. We just have one sentence, but we have two clauses in one sentence or in a sentence, connecting those clauses with an conjunction, which is a but here right now. So again, if we talk about clause, adjective clause, it means that we are trying to use more than one words, or more than, like, it is very likely or very similar to a sentence in a clause to describe what? To describe a noun, right? A noun or a nouns. It can be multiple nouns as well. It doesn't mean that when you want to describe something, you need to describe one thing, but you can describe like multiple things or different things at the same time as well. So here again, adjective clause is used to modify a noun or nouns as a clause, not a word. Okay, so here again, I will give you some more like examples so that you can understand when do we use adjective clause, or which like is the conjunction, or in this case we call relative pronoun to what? To modify the noun that we want. For example, if we look at this screen, right, we have three sentences. The first sentence, the girl has a boyfriend. I want to ask you, does it or does the sentence have any adjective clause? No, right? We only have like one sentence, and we know nothing about the girl or a boyfriend in the sentence. So this one, we don't have any adjective clause in the sentence. What about the second sentence? The girl which wears a white striped shirt has a boyfriend. So do we have any adjective clause in the sentence? If so, where is it? If we have any adjective clause in the sentence, where is it in the sentence? Okay, so right, you got it right. So here, which wear a white striped shirt, this we call adjective clause. So can you tell me, so the word that the clause that I highlighted, which words or which noun that this clause modifying? So this modifying the word the girl, right? The girl, which wears the white striped shirts. We know more details about the girl, about this particular girl, that she wears a white striped t-shirts. And what about the third sentence? The girl has a boyfriend whose father is the principal of the school. Okay, so here again, principal of the school is an adjective clause which modify which words. Okay, so I will have a questions for you. This the third sentence, the words, the clause that I highlighted, which words in the sentence they are modifying. The girl, the first answer is the girl, and the second answer is a boyfriend. So the answer is this clause modifying the word a boyfriend. Okay, so we talk about a boyfriend, and this guy, this boy, has a father who is the principal of the school. Principal of the school it means ผออ่ะผอหรือว่าหัวหน้าใหญ่ผอของโรงเรียนนั่นเอง Okay, so now we know a little bit, right? So do you see like any do you notice something about the sentence that I just write some words down? So actually if you see something in the sentence, you see it right. So we have like such words, right, to modify the word in front of those clause, right? So as you can see, we use adjective clause to modify a noun that's placed or that is placed in front of those adjective clause. Right, and then I have a very important notes that you need to know first. Adjective clause don't usually change the basic meaning of sentence, rather that they clarify the writer's intent. It means that even though we have like 2 or 3 adjective clauses in the sentence, and we only have like a noun or 2 nouns in the sentence, it means that the meaning of the sentence is still the same, but the listener or the reader, when they find those sentences with the adjective clause, they can understand more clearer. They can get more details about the noun. They can get more understanding of what they are talking about, or what the other are talking about. So here this is the very important, because I encounter this adjective clause all the time, even though I don't really think about like anything. I just when I want to explain something to you guys, if I don't really know about whether you guys understand the noun or not, I would just use adjective clause to clarify or give more details about the noun that I'm talking about. So if you notice again, when I say like the sentence, when I am lecturing you guys, I am using a lot of adjective clause in my sentences as well. So it is a very important lesson that you must know to use the adjective clause. Okay, so here I have a very quick activities for you to do. So I have like 12 sentences. I want you to do the same as what we did earlier in the sentence analysis. I want you to find the adjective clause, only adjective clause, and then circle the relative pronoun. What does it mean that by the word relative pronoun? So here, right? So for example, this one we call relative pronoun. Relative pronoun. You don't have to know the meaning though. You just circle those relative pronoun and then try to highlight all the adjective clause as what we did earlier, and then if you may, draw a line or an arrow that indicates the word that those adjective clauses modify. Okay, so let's do it together first so that you may not get confused about what we are doing. Okay, so for example, we do the first sentence together. Pizza, which most people love, is not very healthy. If you read the sentence, you will notice that we have the word which, right? And we have most people love. after the word which. So we can know that after we analyze some sentences earlier, we can know that this sentence has an adjective clause, which is here. And then what you need to do is just highlight the adjective clause as I did here. And then I want you to circle the relative clause, something like this. And then I want you to draw a line or an arrow that you can understand after you finish learning that. Like this adjective clause be to modify which words in the sentence. So this is just one example, right? So we still have another 11 more sentences. I will give you around 5 minutes, maybe 7, 6. Take whatever you want, and then after you finish the all the sentences, I will continue the teaching. Okay, so maybe 7, 8 minutes, and then I'm gonna give you the answers again. Okay, go. Okay, so for now, I'm gonna give you an answer to these 11 questions. So I'm gonna go through with only a few sentences and then I'm gonna give you the answers because I don't want to waste time just to explain all this thing. But if you find it difficult and don't really get anything, or you don't really get the same answer of what I did, you can send me a message anytime or just comment down below the video clips so that I can reach you and give you more explanations about the topic. Okay, so the second sentence, those people whose names are on the list will go to the camp. Will go to camp. So here now we have only one sentence, right? But in this sentence we have an adjective clause, which is where it is. Where is it? So whose name are on the list are, not are, is an adjective clause in this sentence. Okay, so we can use a bracket as well so that we know that this chunk of words or this clause only used to modify the noun. So like someone, it's, this one is very popular in Cat and Pat and Onet. I found so many questions that have something to do with adjective clause. You need to identify the noun, the verb, and whatsoever that they might gonna ask you. So for example, this one, you will know that those people whose names are on the list. So like the highlights and the words in the brackets only used to modify the people, right? We don't have nothing, like we have nothing to do with like the verbs or anything fancy about the sentence. But we know that people whose names are on the list here is just a modifier, an adjective clause to modify a noun, which is people in this sentence. Okay, so those people whose name are on the list, so whose name are on the list is an adjective clause, modify who, modify people. Okay, what about the third one? Grandpa remembers the old day when there was no televisions. Okay, so here when there is no television is an adjective clause. To modify which one? To modify the old days, right? The old days here. Okay, so I forget to make a circle on the relative pronoun. Okay, so here we have 3 sentences. What about number 4? Fruit that is grown organically is expensive. So the answer is right here. It's grown organically is expensive. Okay, so I'm gonna put the brackets right here. That refer to the word fruits and put it in a circle. Okay, so for what about the last one, and then I will give you the key answers. Students who are intelligent get good grades. It is very biased, huh? This sentence. Who's are intelligent? Okay, so here again, the word who describes the word students who are intelligent. Okay, so here are some examples, some key examples. So I will give you a key right now. Okay, so do you guys get all the same answer as what I do? So here is actually the answers to all the questions. If you do it by yourself, you will gradually realize that when we compose an adjective clause, it will have like at least a noun. I'm sorry, a verb, right? A verb after those relative pronoun, and maybe in some case it might come after a noun, after the relative clause. Okay, so to illustrate the thing that I am saying, so I have another more examples that you can see. So for now, I'm gonna introduce you what are some relative pronouns that we can use in the sentence right here, right in the circle thing that we did. We will know that when we want to describe or refers or give more details about a noun, we can use such of these words to describe those things. For example, the first sentence, what do we use? We use which, right? We use whose, we use when, but in the different words, we use with different nouns as well. For example, we use which with pizza. Pizza is a food, right? We use whose with people. We use when with dates and time or days in this case. So different pronouns, relative pronoun, we use it differently as well. So now I'm gonna describe more about the relative pronoun that we can use, and then I'm gonna see the details of the how can we structure adjective clause in our sentence as well. Okay, so now is the first thing that we're gonna learn. We're gonna know about when we want to describe a person or people or like a living organism that can talk, like have some characteristic of human being. A person, basically, a guy, a man, a woman, a male, a female, a president, a student, the teacher, the whatever it is. So you name it. If it's a person, we use this adjective pronoun to describe those. For example, the first one, the teacher or an a teacher, they are what? They are a person, right? They are people. But I want to ask you, do we have any adjective clause in the first sentence? Do we have any? No, right? We don't have any adjective clause. What about the second sentence? And has an appointment with the teacher who teaches English. And has an appointment with the teacher who teaches English. Right, you see the word who, right? Who is an adjective, not adjective clause. Who is a relative pronoun. Who teaches English. So we know specifically that the teacher, and in the first sentence they didn't give us any details about teacher, right? In DSU or Sathit there are, right, like 50 teachers in the school. If we just say and has an appointment with a teacher, we will get confused, we will know nothing, we will like be blank when the girl says so, right? So we want to clarify, we want to give more detailed information about that teacher, so we use adjective clause with the teacher who teaches English. So we know that this girl is going to meet a person or a teacher who is in an English department because he or she is a English teachers. So now we know a little bit more about the teachers, right? So here we use who to describe more details of the teachers. And okay, so move back a bit. I want to explain about the structures or how we can construct, how we can compose an adjective clause. So when do we use adjective clause? We need to look at the noun first, right? The noun here, for example, okay, so let's see, we do the first sentence together. We look at the noun or a noun that we want to modify. We want to modify the teacher. We know that the teacher is a person, right? And we use what with a person? We use who, right? You know that we use who with a person. So we want to describe about the teacher. We use who after the word teacher. And you can use a verb or an action to describe the person, or you can use verb to be an adjective to describe this person as well. For example, if we like do like a very basic thing, we can like basically when we want to talk about a teacher, right? We will maybe look at their heights or the tall, how tall they are, right? So maybe you can just say Anne has an appointment with the teacher who is tall. So there are not so many teachers that is tall, right? So we know something like this is just an example. You can give more like more detailed example if you want to, but for the one that know nothing about adjective clause, this is like another examples that we can use to describe a noun. So in this case, the teacher who is tall. So in the structures we want this first, right? The WH words that relates to the thing that we want to describe. In this case, we want to describe the teacher. The teacher is a person, so we use who. And then we have verb to be, right? If we want to describe that person again with an adjective, so we need to use a verb to be. And then adjective, verb to be, and this one is adjective. Or if you want to describe an action that the person does, you can use a verb to describe the person. Not like you don't have to always use verb to be with adjective clause, but you can instead use action verb as well. For example, the second sentence we use action verb instead of verb to be. So you can see the word teach, right? Teaches is verb. Actually, it is an action verb that can like show that someone does something or someone is doing something. So you can just use the WH words which describe the word in front. In front, and then a verb. It can be the teacher who run. Maybe you don't want to use the word teach. You can use like word like run fast. So this is like hilarious sentence, hilarious example. Anne has an appointment with the teacher who run fast, meaning that like Anne want to be a runner. Some maybe I don't know, but yeah, this can be an example. So the structure is easy, right? You just use the WH word that correspond or relates to the subject, and then use a verb and then maybe an object, or you don't have an object, you just use a verb, just that. So here is the structures. I will give you more WH word or relative pronoun that we can use with the adjective clause. So now we have already learned about who, right? But actually in this adjective clause we can use whose, we can use whom, you can use which or that to describe person as well. Okay, so for example, the third sentence, which Anne has an appointment with the teacher. That's so now we don't use who, right? We use that. So to conclude, we can use that to describe a person or people as well. See, we can use that. Or if you don't want to use that, you can just use who again as well. Anne has an appointment with the teacher who has a lovely voice. It does it shows the same meaning. It means the same though. So you can either use that or who to convey or to tell the same meaning. Who has a lovely voice, that has a lovely voice. And what about number 4? Anne has an appointment with the teacher whose name, but the word whose is different from the word that and who. That and who, it is it is similar, right? We can use interchangeably. But for the word whose, we cannot use interchangeably with the word whose and that. So what does it mean by the word whose? Anne has an appointment with the teacher whose name. What does it mean, whose name? Okay, so to illustrate, very easy sentence like my name is อาจารย์เต้ย so here do you see any like some pronoun in the sentence? Right, so in this sentence we have pronoun mine, right? So mine, what do we call them? We call them possessive pronoun. Possessive pronoun ก็คือการแสดงความเป็นเจ้าของอย่างเช่น my car, my key, my computers, my iPad, my iPhone, my mouse, my whatever it is. So when you use mine or like his or her, it is there are another possessive pronouns that we can use. So when you have a possessive pronoun or when you want to describe the things of a person, you need to use whose instead of who. จะเป็นแปลว่าของอ่ะwhose name ก็คือ the teacher whose name is อาจารย์เต้ยก็คืออาจารย์เต้ยอาจารย์แอนเนี่ยมี appointment หรือว่ามีการนัดหมายกับอาจารย์ที่มีชื่อว่าไอ้ whose นี่แหละที่มันจะแปลว่าเป็นของใครหรือว่าที่เป็นของใครนั่นเองหรือเราไม่อยากใช้คำว่า name เราเป็น whose อย่างอื่นก็ได้ Anne has an appointment with the teacher whose dogs is brown มีหมาสีน้ำตาลอะไรอย่างนี้ก็ได้หรือว่าwith the teacher whoseอะไรเดีย whose iPad is white คนที่มี iPad สีขาวนั่นเอง Okay, so what about the fifth sentence? Anne has an appointment with the teacher whom Anne admires. So this is like I think the most complicated relative pronouns are whose and whom. If you get the concept of how can we use whose and whom, so I think you are good for everything for this lesson. Okay, so here we have another word whom. So whom is basically describe a person but as an object, not a subject, right? So here what does it mean by the word subject object? For example, I eat noodles. By the word object I mean this one, right? So by the word object I mean I'm sorry, subject. I mean I, but when I refers to object, like sometimes I'm talking about like whom, we use whom with an object, right? Object refers to this one, noodles object. Okay, so we will use whom to describe an object of the class. Object of the class, not the sentence, of the class. So actually this one, it's come from like Anne admires him, right? But whenever we use whom, we like somehow throw the objects to like the relative clause and we just cut this out, so it can convey or it can tell you the same meaning that Anne has an appointment with the teacher who Anne admires him, whom Anne admires. So by the word admire แปลว่าให้ความเคารพใช่ไหมเวลาเราให้ความเคารพเราต้องมีความว่าให้ความเคารพใครถูกไหมอาจารย์ให้ความเคารพ อาจารย์บอยอาจารย์ให้ความเคารพอาจารย์หมวยอะไรอย่างเงี้ยก็ต้องมี object right so every time when we want to admire someone or when we whatever it is when we want to eat we need to eat something so whenever the something the object is a person we use whom to modify the sentence okay so this is like somehow complicated but don't worry if you get a lot of practice if you read a lot if you like see this words this kind of words in movies and series you get more understanding about these relative clause but this is just a very like first time that you may get introduced of the topic so don't worry if you don't understand or you understand nothing about whom or whose if you do understand who and that I think that's okay that's fine that's perfect because whose and whom requires some work or requires some extent of knowledge of using English to understand those things but you know it's very complex it's very complicated it's difficult topic to learn so I think if you just know who and that I think that's fine okay so we move like the previous slide we want to describe a person people right so now we're gonna move to describe things so things it's like somehow similar to a person but we don't use who who no we don't use who to describe a thing we use what as you can see we use which here right and that to describe thing so thing in this case we talk about an appointment and has an appointment is not a person an appointment แปลว่าการนัดหมายเนี่ยเราจะรวมเป็นสิ่งของหรือสิ่งที่แบบไม่ได้เป็นสิ่งมีชีวิต so it has no life it has like it is a thing it's just a thing so whenever we describe a thing we use which and that นั่นเองเสียงเริ่มแหบso I'll get some drink and then I'll continue the lesson okay okay right so here again which is important that cannot be missed so here shoot so here all the words that I make a square they are an adjective clause right to modify an appointments okay so I think we're almost done yeah we're almost done for the first part are you like very excited yeah I am super excited we only have not a very few slides left okay so here's the thing that I really want to let you know that describing places and describing time we tend to use slightly different structures from what we did earlier which are places which are something right describe things and a person so when we want to describe places and time we use different structures note we use different structures with this thing okay so let's take a look the first sentence Anne has an appointment at the office where she walks past every day Anne has an appointment the same sentence but we use to modify place which in this case is what the office right the office is a place that we want to modify so whenever we want to modify a place very basic thing we use where but the thing that I need or you need or you must remember is that after the word where let me highlight it so that you don't remember you don't forget ever when you use where and when to describe time, where to describe place, when to describe time. You need to have a clause that starts with what? With a subject. What's a subject? Here, a subject, right? She is a subject. The teacher is a subject. You have or you must have a subject after the relative pronoun. So, for example, the office where she walks past every day. Someone might ask me why just we start from a verb like as what we did earlier, right? So here we have WH questions, not WH question. We have relative pronouns and then we use is, which is a verb, instantly after the pronoun, the relative pronoun. But in this case, why don't we just use the verb or ismr after relative pronoun? So if you are talking about using a verb after a relative pronoun, you might compose or create a question sentence rather than adjective clause. For example, the office where is big. For example, where is big. It's super wrong because here you use verb to be instantly after the relative pronoun, right? So if we want to describe places and time, we have to have a noun before the verb. Where so assuming that you are creating the sentence which is and wrong, which is unacceptable, this is wrong, you have to have a subject first and then a verb, to modify the places and the time. But this is very sophisticated topic because when I was in high school, I just only learned about when do we use like adjective clause that used to describe a person or a thing, or like the very first thing that I described to you. But actually, when we talk about places and time, I didn't know much about the thing, and I made a lot of mistake during the university period, and then I just realized that I used it all the way wrong, and I need to fix it. Like every time when I want to describe place, I just use where and a verb, which is wrong. But luckily I got a professor from the United States of America, from the US. She came from the US, and she taught me that when you want to describe places and time, you need to have a subject before the noun, so that I just like the sentence that she said constantly remind me of when I want to describe a place or a time. Okay, so here again, describing time. When you want to describing time, you use when, right? When, and with a subject and then a verb. But here, right, you need to remember that if you want to describe a time, you have to have a time which is a noun first. In the morning, when what? The teacher arrives at the school. Okay, so now I have a very small activity. Let's say it's not very hard. I would say it's very easy, but it is a very first step that you can start practicing using adjective clause, because it's not too hard. It's not too easy as well. So the thing that you need to do is to do the same. Scan the QR code. If you have a computer, you just type the code down, this code down here in the searching whatever it is. So if you have a phone, please scan this QR code, and then it will link your device to the website Google Form. And I have only 10 questions that there is no choices or any fancy choices that you can choose, right? Here is the thing. I want you to apply your answers that you create by yourself. You just create a sentence that relates to the sentence that I give. Okay, so what about we do it together in the first, not in the example first, and then you will get some ideas of how you can do it by yourself. And I will give you another 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes to finish all the thing. Okay, so here, after you get access to the website, don't forget to type down your name, your email, and then please press the next button so it will link you to the questions. Actually, in this adjective clause, we have two parts. We just in this time we just only do the first part, and then after you finish this, I will let you do the another part. Okay, so we can start together first for now. Okay, so here is a very simple exercise where you have to create your own sentence and put it in the gap, fill it in the gap. Okay, so the example, my English teacher is very kind. What do you need to do? If we don't have a blank, right? We just only have a sentence like my English teacher is very kind, which is very vague. It is not a completely thought. It is not a complete thought. It means that you don't know anything about the teacher, or you don't know any detail, any information. Here, I want you to try to practice using adjective clause to give more detail about a particular object or a particular noun that I give. For example, my English teacher who teaches me is very kind. So that's all for like a very first sentence, right? So here you can say like my English teacher who teach me is very kind, or you might get answer differently from one to another. My other friends might get different answer. He or she might answer like my English teacher who I know is very kind. This can be another answer as well. Or you can say something like my English teacher whom I love is very kind is another answer as well. So answer can be various from one to one another. So don't be serious whether you get the right or wrong answer. Just let's practice your brain, practice the knowledge that you learned with me, and don't be shy to answer the questions. Just answer whatever you want. It can be funny, it can be crazy. Just answer the way you like. Okay, so I won't tell the answers to anyone else. Just only me who read the answers. So just be yourself, answer whatever you want. Okay, so you will, after you access the website, you will see the questions, right? And below the questions, you will get some space to type down your answer. So what I need you to know, what I need you to do is to rewrite everything, the whole sentence. Like if you have the first sentence, right, and there's only a blank after the word pen, I want you to rewrite the whole sentence so that I can, easier. It is easy for me to read the sentence when I checked your work. Okay, so for example, if this is like the space in the website, you can say I have the pen That's my dad bought for me, just like that. So rewrite the sentence a bit so that I can get the sense of the what does it what do you what the question asks. So yeah. Okay, so now I'll give you 10 to 15 minutes to do the task. Okay, so I hope you finished with the first part, right? So here is the explanation of how you can do the second part. So in the second part, I want you to create the story of who you are. So here is an examples of myself. Just briefly write about yourself, just 50 words. With 50 words, only take like 20-30 minutes to finish. So it is not a big deal. It is not too difficult. I just want you to practice more and more to use of how to use adjective clause. Okay, so what I need you to do is describe who you are within 50 words. You can use I assign you to use just only two or more. It can be like two adjective clause in the 50 words, or if you capable of creating more adjective clause, it is okay as well. You can create like 5 adjective clause, 10 adjective clauses if you like, but the assignments only requires you to create at least two adjective clause in the sentence. Here and in my sentence, in my paragraph, I create like one, two, three, four. I use four relative pronoun in the paragraph. So just briefly, who you are. Use adjective clause to describe yourself. To give more details about the noun that you want to describe. It can be either yourself, a place, or a time that you want to describe. For example, let's take a look of my example. I am an English teacher who just turned 24. So here, the word who just turned, I want to describe the word an English teacher, right? An English teacher who just turned 24. And what about this one? Where? So I started the first job at DSU where. So the where it's the word where the not the word the whole clause used for describing the SU or an institution, the school, สาธิตศิลปากร so I describe a little bit more. I give more details about the school by using the word where. And then here again, I describe other teacher. I describe other teachers. I describe students. Okay. So here's what I did with the with describing myself within 50 words. So now it's your turn. I will give you around 30 minutes. Maybe you can do over 30 minutes if you don't finish within the time. You can do less if you finish very quickly. And then we're gonna move forward to another subject for today, and then that's all for today, right? Super easy. So now is your time. 30 minutes. Go. Okay, so I hope everyone finished with the assignment, and then now I'm gonna conclude about adjective clause that we learned today. So okay, so here the pictures. Um, it is about it is a pictures of English teacher in our school, right? So here I have another example as well. One of the English teacher teaches basic English for Mathayom 4 students. The first sentence I didn't give you about the detail of which English teacher that teach Mathayom 4 students. I just said that there is one teacher who there is one teacher that teach basic English, right? So it is not like a really detailed sentence that you can understand about the noun. And then I clarified a bit by using adjective clause, using the relative pronoun who to explain more about that teacher. Okay, so I give more detail. Who is the tallest? Teaches basic English for Mathayom for students. So you may obviously see that the one who is on the right is the tallest, so that you can get understand the same thing that I want to say. So here is the thing that we first learned today. So adjective clause, it is not very hard to use. We use it very often. I use it frequently in this, like in our life, in everyday conversation. We use it a lot, and in academic writing, such as research, or when you want to apply for a university, you might need to use this adjective clause a lot as well. So I think this lesson is very useful for your future reference and for your career, maybe in the future. I hope you learn a lot from this lesson. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments, or you can direct message me if you want to. So I think we finished for the first part. I will give you around 5 minutes to 10 minutes break, and then we're gonna come back and learn the last point of today lessons. Okay, so now you can go to the break. Okay, so here is the last point, the last topic of today. The adverbial clause, or someone call it adverb clause. Oh, so you know about adverb? Adverb and adjective is two different things. Who like sometimes people get confused about the use or what does it look like. So, but really, adverb is comparatively easy if we already know how to use adverb. So, I mean, how to use adjective after we just learn about the use of adjective, right? So now we're gonna learn about adverb. Adjective used to describe what? To describe now, right? But adverb, so the names is very obvious, right? Adverb. So we use adverb to describe verb. Verb. Okay, so today we're just gonna learn about adverb of time and just manner, because actually there are like other functions of adverb clause, but I think there are too many to learn. But I'll just briefly today we have limited time, so I think to learn adverbial clause about time and manner is the most important points of adverbial clauses. So I specifically select time and manner to present for today's lessons. Okay, so we just gonna get the same basic knowledge of what do we know about adverb. Okay, so someone might haven't heard about adverb before, but if you look at the pictures, I asked you, there are four people in the picture, right? A, B, C, and D. So I asked you who is running. So what does it mean by the word run? Run, it means wing, right? When you move yourself and you move your body towards from one point to another with a very like fast pace. So I asked you who is running, A, B, C, or D. Okay, so everyone will see that every person in the pictures, right? Every people, they are running. A is running, B is running, C is running, and D is running. So, how do we distinguish the person? How do we like clarify, give more details about how each individual person running? So we can, right? So this is the importance of adverb. We can give more details as what we did in the adjective clause or adjective. So we can give more detail about an actions that someone does or some individual is doing. In this case, we see that D is different from the others, right? So even though the four of them are running, but there is only person that running differently. So in this case, we can create sentence like they is running fast to clarify, to explain, to give more details about how the action is done, or how the action how D does the action. So the word fast here is an adverb. Fast an adverb, right? But actually, so if we look closely on the adverb part, so I have another examples here in the slides. So you will see that when we want to have, like when we want to describe the verb or an action verb of the sentence, regularly when we use adverb, right? Adverb. For example, the second sentence one, this two, right? You can notice that there is another adverb in the sentence. So the word slowly is an adverb. So slowly is an adverb, right? So adverb used to describe what? Describe the word running. Was running. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so get back to the slides. Michael was running slowly. You can see that most of the time when we want to use adverb, the word tend to have like the same rules, right? We use ly or li, right? Li at the end of the word. So the words will change from adjective to adverb. If we look closely at this word, right, the word slow is adjective. But whenever you want to use an adverb, you just use ly. Slowly, so that you will get an adverb instantly. Easy as that. But in some case, like the word fast or hard, or like some couple words, we don't put ly after the words. But basically, most of the time, I would say probably 90 something, 95% of the word of words ending with ly to show that this word is an adverb. So adverbs used to describe adjective, and then they can use to describe verb as well. Okay, so let's take a look at more examples. The third sentence, he works, and the first sentence, she worked tirelessly. Okay, so you may see that the third sentence isn't very clear, right? Because the sentence or the person who is like saying this sentence just only say that he is working or he works. So it's very like it's very unclear of the sentence. But whenever we plus or we add another adverb in the sentence, like the word tirelessly, tirelessly, tired ก็คือเหนื่อยใช่ไหม tireless ก็คือไม่เหนื่อย tirelessly ก็คืออย่างแบบไม่มีความเหนื่อยเลย so you may see at the pictures here, right, and understand that this guy, this girl works tirelessly. You may see the actions of how can she works, or how she worked in the office. So adverb give you more details, more explanations of how the action is done. And what about number 5? He has typically brown hair. What does it mean by the word typically? Typically it means normal, like ordinary, normal. So here in this case, he has typically brown hair. So you look at this guy, right? So the hair that he has, the colors of the hair is typically brown. It refers to the word typically brown. So the word adverb here typically describe brown, which is an adjective. This one is adverb. So if you learn with Ajahn Pipe will tell you about how to arrange the sentence, right? How to use adverb, how to use adjective, how can we like what functions of adjective or adverb are in the sentence, or how can you order the words in the sentence. So here again, I don't want to go in much details about how to how to order the sentence and how which word modify which, but I just want to you to have the same basic understanding about how can we use adverb in the sentence. So adverbs, not only the adverb can describe or explain a verb, it can also describe an adjective. For example, this the fifth sentence. Typically, an adverb means normal, right? Typically, so it's described more about adjective, which is brown. So number 6, I will dye my hair red tomorrow. So in this sentence, you might not really see any adverb, right? But actually, there is one adverb in this sentence. Can you see which one is an adverb in this sentence? In the above one, either slowly, tirelessly, typically there are like show how it done, right? But this, we have the word tomorrow. Tomorrow can be an adverb. It is not can be. It is an adverb. Tomorrow is an adverb to describe or to explain the things that will happen in which time. So tomorrow here explain that the action will happen at this time, at this point of time, of the okay. So you will understand more that dye your hair will happen tomorrow, right? So tomorrow here, it's called time indicator or adverb of time to refers to the action that likely to happen. So number 7, we have two. Actually, we have two adverb in the sentence. We have first energetically. What does it mean energetic? Energetic. I speak very energetically, or he is very energetic. Energetic is an adjective, right? If we cut the word "ly" out, energetic is an adjective. When we talk about energetically, it means that they does the actions very actively. Actually, the word energetically, it's mean active, actively. เป็นคนแบบกระตือรือร้น enthusiastic อะไรอย่างเงี้ยhe fought energetically against corruption yesterday. So again, this one energetically describe the manners of how he fought, right? And the word yesterday used to describe what? The time. Time. So this one manner. This one time. Okay, so here now we know that in our sentence we have two kinds of adverb, right? Adverb that can describe a manner, or manner, it means, do you know what does it mean by the word manner? So here's the conclusions. So again, we have adverbs to describe time. We have adverb to describe manner. If you don't understand what does it mean by the word manner, you can look at the pictures below. The picture is about a rabbit and a turtle, right? So those two little animals, they have like characteristics of themselves. So can you imagine how they run, how the rabbit runs, or how the turtle runs? So you might have like imagine in your head that the rabbits should be running fast. Whenever rabbits go to another place, they go very quickly, they go very fast. So that what we call manner, right? Manner is like the pace of the action that the rabbit is doing. And however, we have the turtle. You might imagine in your head again that whenever you see a turtle, it moves very slow. It goes from one place to another slowly. They might eat they might do anything slowly as what I do right now. I speak slowly and I speak fast. If I speak fast, I speak like this, so you might not get understand about what I'm saying. So this is what we call manner. ภาษาไทยเขาจะเรียกว่าอาการหรืออิริยาบถนั่นเอง so for example the word quickly slowly can describe manners as well. So manner and time is the main focus of our adverbial clause today. We start from the time first. Adverb of time, for example, tomorrow, yesterday, later. I will go to school tomorrow. I start to feel better yesterday. My friend will call me later. So here we have three adverb of times, right? That indicates when the action is happening or when the action happened. It can be either in the past, present, or in the future. It depends on the adverb that we use. If we use tomorrow, we refers to the future. If we use yesterday, we refer back to in the past. Okay, so adverb of time can indicate the time of the action that will happen. But why do we have to use adverbial clause? Someone might say that isn't it enough if we only use adverb to describe our sentence? Actually, if you look at this conversation, I illustrate you why do we need to use adverbial clause. I will pick you up tomorrow. Assuming that I am your friend, I will tomorrow we have a meeting. We want to go to watch a movie at Lotus Tesco Lotus นครปฐม and then I tell you that I will pick you up tomorrow. What does it mean tomorrow? So you know that tomorrow, whenever tomorrow comes, I will pick you up, right? But you might have a little questions in your innocent brain, in your innocent thought that when is tomorrow? Tomorrow is very vague. Vague, it means unclear. It is very unclear. I don't know anything about tomorrow. It can be in the morning, it can be in the noon, it can be in the afternoon, it can be even in the evening. So how would I know which time in tomorrow that you will pick me up? So again, I want to explain more about the time that will the action that will happen. The action in this case is pick you up. So I clarified by giving you more details. Oh, I will pick you when we finish our online class. So assume that tomorrow you have an online class, so you will know the time, right? So you will finish the online class assuming that it is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So you will understand, you will know, you will prepare yourself to go to the movie after you finish the online class. So here I will highlight for you the adverbial clause. So here again, the word when we finish our online class is adverbial clause. Is the adverbial clause that we use in the sentence. Okay, so here, if we put a bracket here, you will notice that the two sentences are the same. Actually, if you will ask me that where is the word up? Actually, I think I forget to put the word up, so it doesn't a big deal. When we miss the word up, I will pick you up. It has the same meaning though. So anyway, apart from the word up, if you look at the word tomorrow and when we finish our online course, it refers to the same actions in the that will happen tomorrow. But in the first sentence, tomorrow, it doesn't show much about the details of the action, right? It just states the person just states very vague, very unclear. But when we use adverbial clause, the sentence seems to be very clear. Seems to I seems to understand more about the action that will happen in the future. Okay, so here again, we have I have two I have actually a table, and then I put it the same sentence but in the different sides. We have two sides on the left side and on the right side. So I will just show you like the same thing that that's the previous slide does. So you can see the underlined words, right? The red one and the bold one, the red one, the red sentence. So we have adverb, for example, like tomorrow, yesterday, later, soon, or since. Someone might say since yesterday I have talked to somebody since yesterday. So here are some adverb, just only adverb, and that describe the actions, right? For example, tomorrow, yesterday, here is an adverb. Later, soon, since. Okay, but adverbial clause is another thing that you can use. You can see that I put a bold. Bold ก็คือตัวหนา in each sentence. So the bold here is what we call a conjunction, right? After, before, as soon as, since, soon, or when, whenever is a conjunction that we can clarify or give more details about the adverbial clause. Okay, so let's take a look each by each sentence. I will pick you up after you call me. I will pick you up tomorrow. I will pick you up after you call me. So you might see that the two sentences are the same. It will happen in the future. It will happen tomorrow, but the time that like the listener, like the sentence that the listener gets more detail, get more understanding, should be the second, this one, right? Because you will understand directly and instantly that after you call me, someone will pick you up. So this adverbial clause used for what? For describe more details about the actions that will happen. And okay, so if we look closely on the adverbial clause, it's different from what we did earlier with the adjective clause, right? Adjective clause, sometimes we just use WH words like who, and then we use a verb like is, am, are, or an action like who teaches me. He is an English teacher who teaches me. But in the adverbial clause, it does not apply the same rules. You have to have a subject, like a complete sentence after these conjunctions, right? So you will see that the complete sentence will look like this. It will have one subject, one verb, and one optional object. It can have you can have an object or not. It depends on the verb that you use. So here, after you call me is a complete sentence and have a connector, which is after, right? So I will pick you up after you call me. Or you don't want to use the word after, you can use the word when, like I will pick you up when you call me, or I will pick you up before you call me. So it depends on the meaning of the sentence that you want to tell. So here are some more examples. So I don't will describe thoroughly. So I will just give you like an example so that you can see, and then because we don't have much time, I will not go through all the examples. I'll just show it to you. Okay, so here is an adverb and adverbial clause. I will let you examine about 1 minute, and then we will go to the exercise for this adverbial clause. So take a look at the sentence and see the difference between the two. Okay, so after you looked at the sentences, right? So you might know that there are multiple conjunctions or connectors that we can use along to describe the clause, to explain the adverbial clause, like the word after, when, as soon as, since. But anyway, we can use more than that. Here is the examples. You can use after, as soon as, before, once, since, till, the moment, that, until, whenever, when, and while. So here are some more examples of the words that you can use, a connector, conjunctions that you can use in the sentence. So it depends on your meaning, actually. If you want to, like, by the way, like the word before and after, it will show you the different meaning, right? So be careful when you use these connectors, because it will tell you the listeners or the reader different stories. Okay, so here we have practice. Okay, so there's a little, like, I put the QR code in the wrong slides, but anyway, it will link you to the exercise. So here I want you to scan the QR code, or you can type down the link below the QR codes to engage in the activities, to access to the activities that we have today. So after you scan this, you will see this practice, right? So I will explain to you how can we do this exercise. So you will see about 7 sentences, if I'm not wrong. So after you access to the website, you will see these sentences, and I will explain you how to do it. For example, I will be talking to you tomorrow. I will be talking to you tomorrow. So here in this sentence, we have the word tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, which is an adverb of time that indicate the time, that tell you the time of the action that will happen in the future. So the word tomorrow is a little bit unclear for me. So what I need you to do is change from the word tomorrow to an adverb clause. So you might compose another sentence, another clause actually, to identify the action that will happen in the future, or to explain more about the action. It can be different as what we did earlier with the adjective clause as well. So in adverbial clause, I might get one different answer from yours, so don't feel hesitated if you get like a crazy ideas that come out of your mind, or you can be creative about the answers. It can be as crazy as you want, it can be as nonsense as you want to, but I want you to try to use the word I want you to try to use adverbial clause in the sentence. Okay, so for example, I will be talking to you tomorrow. I will be talking to you tomorrow. It doesn't tell me anything about the action in the future. So I'll just change the word here. I'll be talking to you tomorrow after we have lunch. So that's what I want you to do. Just change the underlying words right? Tomorrow, this morning, soon, next week, last 5 months. So here, you just change the last sentence to an adverbial clause, and that's all. Again, I want you to write the whole sentence again so that when I check your work, it will be a lot more easier for me to check than just write the adverbial clause. Okay, so I will give you around 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes to finish the task, and then we will come back and learn about the adverb of manners. Okay.
Okay, so I hope you finished with the first exercise. So here, if you understand how to use adverb of time, right? So this one is very easy. So I will explain a little bit about the adverb of manner first, so that you can get what the sense of what we are going to learn. The first sentence, my friend plays guitar, play guitar loudly. I don't know how to pronounce the word guitar. So guitar, whatever. So my friend plays guitar loudly. So you can see the pictures here. The crazy guy is playing a guitar, right? And he seemed to play it very loudly. Loudly ก็คือแบบดังมากๆ my teacher explained the lesson clearly. He is looking at me creepily. Look at the pictures, the meme, and you will see that the way he looks, right? The way he is looking at us is very unusual. Creepy ก็คือ it is not like in the normal way. It's unnatural is unnormal. Unusual is not normal. Creepily ก็คือแบบหน้าขนลุกอะไรอย่างงี้ Creepily, he is looking at me creepily. The room was decorated beautifully. So as you can see, we have adverb, right? Adverb here, adverb here, adverb here. So adverb actually it's again used to describe the noun. So like for example, the word play loudly describe how they play, how he plays the guitar, and clearly describe how the teacher explains the lessons. Okay, so here is just to recap you how to use the adverb of manner. So now we move to adverbial clause. Adverbial clause tend to be more difficult than the adverb of time, because you might feel familiar with the conjunctions that we use in the adverb of time, right? The word like when, whenever, after, before, you might see a lot in your everyday life. But as opposed to the adverb of manners, adverbial clause that we refers to manner. So we tend to use another word, not the same sets of conjunctions. So as you can see, we have the word as if, as though, the way that, or just as, to describe the actions, to describe the how the person does the action. For example, the first sentence, my friend played a guitar loudly, and we can it might tell you very clear, but if you want to be satire, if you want to be sarcastic about the sarcastic ก็คือเป็นคนที่ satire ก็คือเขาเรียกว่าอะไรนะ satire ภาษาไทยเขาเรียกว่าพูดแดกดันอะพูดเหมือนแบบพูดแบบเวอร์เกินหรือว่าพูดแบบให้มันแบบฟังดูเหมือนแบบประชดประชันอะไรอย่างเงี้ย so we can use as if and as though to refers to that actions. My friend played a guitar as if everyone else is deaf. When we use as if everyone else is deaf, it's emphasize, right? It's overemphasize on the actions. It emphasizes the actions that we have. Here is the word plays. So as if everyone is deaf. as if ก็เหมือนแบบประมาณว่าเพื่อนของฉันเนี่ยเล่นกีตาร์ดังมากๆใช่ไหมประโยคแรกเพื่อนของฉันเล่นกีตาร์ดังมากๆประโยคที่สองเพื่อนของฉันเล่นกีตาร์อย่างกับคนรอบๆข้างเนี่ยหรือว่าคนอื่นเนี่ยหูหนวกหูหนวกพอเราเข้าใจประมาณเนี้ย so sometimes this sentence it's used for figurative language figurative language ก็คือการเปรียบอุปมาเปรียบเทียบเปรียบเป็นอะไรประมาณเนี้ย so in literatures or in when you want to describe an actions in a very fun way, or you want to being sarcastic, you want to being sarcasm. So you can use this kind of adverbial clause to explains about the verb, the action verb. My friend plays guitar as if everyone else is deaf. Or my teacher explains the lesson clearly, but you want to have a sense of satire ประชดก็คือ my teacher explained the lesson as though I'm dumb. What does it mean I'm dumb? I'm stupid. Like when you explain something to your dog and your dog doesn't know anything, but you try to explain it very slowly because partly because he or she cannot understand the human language, right? And another part might be because of the brain, the functions of the brain. It is not capable of learning new things, or it might capable of learning new things, but not as the way people does. So my teacher explains the lesson as though I'm dumb. ก็แปลว่าเนี่ยเหมือนแบบพูดขำๆอะไรอย่างเงี้ยเพื่อนอาจารย์ของฉันเหมือนพยายามอธิบายโจทย์หรืออธิบายบทเรียนเนี้ยเหมือนกับว่า as though ก็อาจจะแปลว่าเหมือนกับว่าฉันเนี่ยไม่ฉลาดเอาซะเลยอะไรอย่างเงี้ยเพราะว่า like sometimes when people describe things very clear they likely to describe very slowly. They might use simple words. They might use slow pace to describe the instructions, and that can have like the student can have a sense of do you think I'm dumb that I cannot understand anything of what you are saying? So you can say it more quickly, you can say it more academically, so that I can get more stuff of what you want to say. So that can be another way to describe the manners as well. So the third sentence, he is looking at me creepily. Creepily is another adverb, right? You want to give more details about how creepy they look, or he or she looks. You can use adverbial clause to explain more about the action, like he is looking. Oh, actually, I forget to put ing here. I'm sorry for my mistake. He is looking at me the way that no ordinary person does. No ordinary person ก็คือไม่มีแบบคนปกติคนไหนที่เขาจะมองกัน so it's explained a lot more about the word creepily. Sometimes you might be very sure about the word creepily. It might tell you different meaning, but when you say like this sentence, it might give you a more sense of how the creepily he looks. Okay, so here another example, the room was decorated just as he had imagined. So again, just as is another adverbial clause that we use to connect the two sentences to explain how the room was decorated. We focus on decorated ก็คือตกแต่ง Okay, so as the example, I just used 4 of them, but anyhow, there are many of them that you can use in your daily life or in your sentence. Okay, so here is the last thing. Actually, if you scan the QR code, it will link you to the website, right? And the website will requires you to do 2 parts. So this is the second part of the activity. So here again, I have only 5 sentences, and each sentences has an adverb, right? Here an adverb, every sentence has an adverb. So what I need you to do is change the adverb to an adverbial clause, or like use the word as if, as though, the way that, and then create your own sentence. You can be again creative, you can be crazy, you can be like, you can try to imagine of anything that you can think of, and then put instead of the adverb that we have in the sentence. For example, the man who is sitting next to us is speaking loudly. I don't want to use the word loudly. I want to describe more about how he speaks, right? So I can use adverbial clause like as if and if there is no one in the room แปลว่าอะไร so it means that when like sometimes when you are alone in your room in your maybe in your classroom you are alone with yourself you might speak very loud imagine that there's like no one in your class right so you don't have to care about anybody else you just turn on your music very loud like you can play music loudly you can talk loudly you can play video game loudly right so here again as if there is no one in the room it's tell you that imagine that there is no one in the room the man is sitting next to us is speaking so here the exercise there is only 5 exercise and then I will check the answer every answers that you applied to the questions and then yeah we come to the conclusions why do we have to use adverbial clause so actually we want to add important descriptive detail and information to your writing like the examples that I give you right if we just use the word loudly you might not imagine how he speak or how he like how he does the action but if you use adverbial clause you will have more detailed important descriptive very detailed descriptive and then your writing will be significantly improved it means that your writing will whenever I see someone use as if and as though in an essay or a writing piece it will show that that person have somehow like a very significant knowledge or he or she can really use the language manipulate the language in the way that he or she wants so here again to add information details in the writing to clarify the action within the sentence or actually like the word the sentence that we talked about the adverbial clause can come before or after it depends on you if you want to emphasize on the adverbial clause you might put the adverbial clause here in the front of the sentence okay so look at the example like the last example he is looking at me the way that no ordinary person does you might say like the way that no ordinary person does he is looking at me so here again I forget to put ing here so here again if we use adverbial clause it can explain a lot more about the details or the informations of the verb so I hope you finish everything about the exercise if you have or encounter any problems of the website or the program you might directly message to me and then I will give you another access that you might you might complete the assignments and I think we are all for today it's such a tiring lesson because we have learned like the whole hours straight without any break and actually we have just a one break right so anyhow I hope you learn a lot with the lessons that I teach you today because adverbial clause is very important and you might find it in every single piece of work or any news you might see some news that use adverbial clauses as well so it is very important very useful lessons and I hope you don't forget the thing that we learned today and if you have any questions again you can type down the comments and maybe direct message to me anytime so I am willing to answer all of your questions so if you don't have anything on your mind right now I will let you do the exercise about 5 to 10 minutes and then if you after you submit you can go and take a break because we don't have any more lessons after this so I hope you enjoy your evening and enjoy your dinner again if you have any questions just ask me so here อาจารย์เต้ยand then uh, okay so I have nothing to say really so maybe see you in the upcoming semester good luck